So we spent our first night last night at the camp, and it was chilly. Yeah, I got down to about 35, and we did pretty good staying warm. But it's gonna get down to 25 tonight, and you know, safety first. So, but this is our first, the beginning of our first little setup, you might say. We've got a tent partially covered in plastic. We've got our fire pit. Scott found an old deer stand on the property and made this reflector. There's our, see, we got some tools over there covered up with the tarp. It's very crude and rudimentary right now, but we are in the process of building a brush or debris shelter. And but for tonight, we are, hey, wave at me, girl. For tonight, and maybe tomorrow night, because it's gonna get down to like 25, and we just, you know, gotta take care of these kids and stuff. So we're gonna go back to the hotel for tonight and tomorrow night, charge our phones, because we haven't been able to get our batteries out, our batteries charged up, and maybe even make a video. So, but we have got to start. And hey, we got a deed to 17 acres. It's gonna take some time, but we are happy. All right, bye-bye guys, later.
Hey everybody, it's Emily again. Well, there's been a little bit of change in plans because it's gonna be 30 or 25 tonight. There's a little discrepancy on exactly which, but we just didn't sleep warm enough last night in order to feel comfortable sleeping through 25-degree weather out here. And because we didn't get any sleep last night because we were too busy shivering, we weren't able to get any type of heat retaining shelter up in the time that we had today. So we decided to go back to a hotel for one night just to get our bearings again, because we realized that we didn't plan as well as we needed to, and we're just going to make a quick regroup and then get back out here. But we just don't want to get anyone or any of the dogs sick or anything, so just wanted to give you a quick update. Talk to you in a bit.
So what actually do you think we did wrong? As per se wrong?
Well, personally for me, the fact that I left my boots in storage, I've run around on those, I've stepped on so many stops with these tennis shoes that I know my feet are bruised. We spent so much time, I mean, we were so limited in time, we just didn't have a chance to prepare properly, and then the weather didn't cooperate.
Well, we didn't realize it was going to take that long to do all that stuff, though. I mean, it wasn't like we were lollygagging around it.
Well, some of it did, but it's just the shuffling vacation stuff with house stuff with,
well, that's what I mean.
Homesteads.
We didn't realize it was going to take that long.
It was confusing. And then we, you know, but whatever, you know, getting down to 25 degrees, it's just too cool. It's.
Well, like I said, you know, we barely stayed warm last night. It was 35 degrees. We didn't have enough. We didn't have enough blankets and stuff to keep us warm.
Well, we need to fix that, but.
Oh, I got all the blankets I could get out of the truck.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't want to take the generator down there until we.
That's fine.
Have
I understand.
We need to get a structure where we can get our wood stove in it and we can go in and we can sleep. I don't like the air mattresses.
You don't?
I don't. For one thing, I mean, I think yours has already got a hole in it.
I think it does, because I pumped it up last night about 3/4 of what I had it before. It wasn't. There was still a little bit of give in it, and it was pretty close to flat this morning when I woke up.
I would really, of course, ultimately at some point we'll get our regular beds back, but I would really like to get foam mattresses for the cots. I just think they're uncomfortable, and you feel like you're on some kind of, you know, those kids rides they have in the balloon rides they have at the carnivals. I feel like I'm sleeping on a bubble.
If we hadn't have kept an eye on Joe, he would have flew off the bed 3 or 4 times last night.
They won't stay on the cots. I don't know. Is there anything else we could have done better, Emily?
With what we actually had, I'm not sure that we could have done any better.
Well, we could have done better if we would have had the time, but.
I mean, it's not like we didn't know what to do. I mean, you know, we knew what to do.
Well, yeah, but we got out there and we didn't get to start working until 2 or 3 o'clock.
Right.
The problem is we forgot the boggin hats and took the hairdryer.
Yeah, well, that was pretty silly. What are you going to do with a hairdryer out on the...
My point is we were very unorganized, and that's what did us in ultimately, I think.
Yeah.
So we don't
But
need
anyway.
to go by Danny's.
No. So anyway, we'll go back to the hotel. We'll get a good night's sleep. Lick our wounds, so to speak.
And we'll, we need to talk and write some things down so we know what to do.
And we're going to have to go to storage and get some things we need and drop off the hairdryer that we don't need. And we're going to maybe get a chance the next 2 days to make a video, and I can check on my business and everything like that. But we did get a lot accomplished out there.
Yeah, we did. We did get a little bit accomplished.
I mean, you found a place to park the van, you cleared a path to the van, and we found a place to unload our stuff that actually gets us to the house seat quicker. We got the tent put up. We got, you know, we just...
But we have 2 days to make sure that this doesn't happen again, and I suggest that we take full advantage of it.
Well, if we have some good weather next week and it doesn't rain, I'd like to check on some gravel and a culvert so we can park the cars closer to them. Because if we get the machine, we can do a lot of that work with the machine and clear, you know what I'm saying, leveling it out to get the driveway closer to the tent, so we're not having to carry everything a quarter mile.
Are you going to be able to do that yourself?
If I have a Bobcat, yeah, I can.
I haven't felt this portion of my cheeks
I
in a
can
good
do that.
23 hours.
My toes and my fingers and my cheeks have been kind of numb.
But we're probably going to have 2 or 3 loads of gravel. That's probably going to be around $1,000.
Oh, ouch.
And then,
My knuckles have gotten a wind tan.
we have to rent a Bobcat and buy a culvert.
Well, anyway, we thought we'd just pick up a little bit of the ride out of our property, and it's really pretty out through here, but the weather's not cooperating, so we're going to sign off right now, and we're headed back to the storage and headed back to the hotel to heal a few wounds and get a fresh start. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, it turned out to be a great, beautiful day. It's not going to last long though. We've only got a few hours. I think it's close to 2 o'clock. We've probably got like maybe 3 hours of warm temps to try to finish this primitive shelter over the tent. So we're going to try to document some of that. It has been, I was so glad to leave town and just to get back out here. It feels so much like home already. Love these woods. Okay, we'll catch up with you later. Bye-bye. I always forget to do this. Turning it sideways. Okay, so when we come up here the other day, it was, when we finally got up here, it was later in the evening. We barely had, we thought we could make it, but we barely had enough time to clear a path, get up here and clear a place for the tent. And then the weather just turned off raw, and it was trying to rain, and it got down to like 35 degrees. A lot of things that I know, you know, like, it's just common sense, but really from living in the woods before, I know it. It's like somehow or other we just slipped, you know. It's amazing what you can forget in 6 years. But common sense tells you the floor of the forest is not level. So we put up the tent and we put up the cots, and the cots were all topsy-turvy, and the air mattresses were like, I felt like I was on one of those rides at the fair in the kiddie, you know, those blow-up rides or something. You try to stand up and then it... So me and Scott spent the whole night trying to keep the kids' mattresses on the bed. I call them kids. They're grown, but still, you know. And they were like scooting out of their sleeping bags, and we had a little heater in there we turned on occasionally, and we were trying to make sure that the covers didn't get next to the heater. It was really quite comical. So we still, I mean, you can see the sun's going in. It's getting in the afternoon now, and we are going to have to hustle to try to get the tent up. And we're going to try to remedy the sleeping situations where we'll be more comfortable, because when you're out like this, you got to sleep good. You got to eat good. That's two things. You got to have your rest, and you got to have good nutrition. So I don't even know if you can see my face. I need to turn around. So this is the tent. I'm going to give you guys just a little sweeping visual. If I turn this around, can I turn this around? I don't know. I'm going to turn this around, give you a little sweeping visual. We have got so much junk. There comes Daddy with the tractor. We finally got the trail big enough to get the tractor and the wagon in. We're emptying the tent out because it's got a hollow in the floor, and that makes everything unlevel. So we got to level that out with some dirt, and we got to repack everything. This looks like a lot, but really, when you're coming up here with 4 people for an indefinite period of time to build a life, it takes a lot of supplies and stuff like that. And right now, everything's just stretched out on tarps. It's a mess. But as a panorama, you can see that all around us is beautiful woods. And there is a very large and very heavy pile of rubber roofing, which ultimately will cover our primitive shelter. So, it's stinky. We're allowing ourselves some amenities to work with, of course, like the tractor and the wagon. But still, it's going to be a little rough. We'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.
I don't know. I'll tell you in a few minutes. I'm filming right now. And this is 17 acres of pure God's country, given to only us because we bought it.
We've had difficulty finding a comfort zone in this tent, and we've been really trying to get a primitive shelter put up, but we've been hindered through with weather and continuing to move things, and it's been quite the issue, mostly because it's been a little bit rainy part of the time and it's been cold part of the time. And now we're getting a snowstorm coming in. We actually picked another campsite for the tent and primitive shelter because of this. We're up on a knoll here and we've got quite a bit of wind exposure. So we, out of desperation, a few nights, we did the...
Sorry, folks.
Out of desperation, a few nights, we just did the Eskimo pile thing. We had a big, like, family bed over here. We were just, like, sleeping in our clothes, you might say, but we just were trying to stay warm. So, so now we are trying to assemble 4 beds. The cots didn't work because the ground's so unlevel. So we ended up putting like this styrofoam, can you see that? This 2-inch styrofoam under the beds. And the air mattresses, Scott's air mattress went flat. So, but we bought a 4-inch king size memory foam thing and cut it up into 4 sheets so that everybody could have like a comfy bed. And now we're trying to get our beds straightened up, and because whatever gets up against the tent absorbs moisture, they're putting some clear plastic around any place where the beds touch the side. It will be so much simpler when we get some kind of a primitive shelter put up and we're not so dependent on man-made materials. Ultimately prove to be disappointing. But considering the fact that we had to be out of our house and we had no leeway there.
I'm dead. I'm done.
She's
Wrap me up in my bed wall stuff and just
So anyway, that's Emily, if you can see her collapsing on her sort of bed. I will get back with you later, but we're just trying to videotape, as we have done so many things that were hilarious and successful and complete failures and flops. But we will ultimately get this done, and if the weather will start going with us, we will do better than we have done. Joseph's just sitting here in a chair. Wave, Joe. Joe's holding on to a dog, but she's black, so you can't see her. You can see her pink collar. That's all you can see. Okay, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hi, guys. We are at the hotel, and as you can see, there's the pool. We tried going swimming a couple of times, but it is just way, way too cold. But anyway, staying in hotels is not our thing. But because of the way things have went the past few weeks, we've just more or less been forced to, because in our county, when you sell a house, you, oh gosh, let me turn this around here. Oh, I always forget to do that. So in our county, when you sell a house or buy a house, you take possession that day. So we had to be every personal possession out of the house that day of the closing. So we had to get out of the house. But we didn't have a house to go to, so it was, you know. Scott hadn't seen his parents in something like 18 years, which is way, way too long. We're consumed with life and raising kids and work, and it was just so hard, but it was terrible. So we had to go see his parents. And hopefully we'll be able to continue to go see his parents. And now they're watching our videos, so hi, Mom, Dad. We miss you and we love you, and we had such a good time on our visit. But we needed to do that before we went up to the land, and I know you've heard a lot of this before. I'm probably repeating a lot. So we spent one evening, one late evening, a night, and the better part of the day up there. We got some trails made because right now there's no driveway and we're having to carry everything up to the campsite we got a place cleared for the tent. There's a little video of what we got done, but it was going to get down to like 29 degrees last night. The last thing I want is for anybody to get sick. And the night that we spent there was pretty miserable because we don't have a primitive shelter up yet. It's just so hectic. We're still dealing with moving stuff. My brother has graciously allowed us to park our truck and trailer in his yard, and it's full of lawn implements and, you know, just more stuff. So we're going to try to move that stuff today. We've got a little bit more business to take care of. It's going to be really, really cold again tonight. And while I'm all about bushcraft and toughing it, and we are just a little bit soft from the 6 years we've spent in town, but we're going to get toughened up. So we got to get some stuff cleared up, and we're going to go back up to the land, and we're going to get our primitive shelter fixed. But it's really good to get a nice warm bath and have a nice bed to sleep in for a few nights. So, but this is not us. This is not how we live. I mean, we hadn't stayed in a hotel for 6 years. So, yeah, we're not people that just love bloodletting money. So, and it costs a lot to stay in hotels. So anyway, we're going to get back up there and we're going to get started on our new life. And I am so appreciative of those that have stuck with us while we have struggled to get to this point. And it has been a struggle. I mean, we started packing a couple months ago, and it has just been a fight to the bitter end. But we've done it, and almost all of our plans have worked out so far. It just takes longer and costs more to do anything. So, we're excited. We're still pumped. I'm sore. I feel like I've either been run over by a truck or somebody's beat me. But a little Tylenol in a few days and I'll be back to normal. It's a hurting to hold the phone up. I love you guys. Hi to Idaho Hillbilly and Kitty for all their support and help. And we're having a little bit of trouble staying attached to everybody or staying in touch with everybody simply because right now we don't have a generator up there. And so we're charging our phones on the car, and the car is like a 3-minute walk. So it's just everything's hectic, but we are so in love with our land and we're anxious to get up there and stay for good. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.